First of all, Paul Roberts, Wales manager, talking about his epic Run, Robbo, Run campaign and StreetGames fundraising. Let's hear all about that.
Thanks very much, Jackie. Can we hear me okay? Yeah, good. Okay, I'm going to start off just telling you a bit about myself. So, Paul Roberts, work for StreetGames in Wales, but forget that for now. Ignore the fact that I work for StreetGames, okay? Because what I'm going to talk to you about over the next 10 minutes is actually something that, you know, for a lot of people in here, what we do on a day-to-day basis is quite personal to us. So what I'm going to talk to you about is actually something that personal. I'm going to go on a journey, quite a long journey, over the next couple of months, just to get people together really and see how we can do things working together for the young people across our network. Okay, just a little bit about myself. So the only people that call me Paul is my mum and my nan. Everyone calls me Robbo, including my kids. They call me Robbo. I'm a Newport lad, born and bred. I'm sports mad. It's just like from my roots all the way up until now. All my kids, there's sport or music's always on in our house. Telly, sport, radio, music, and that's it. Married with 2 boys, 2 and 5. Yeah, sports mad as well. And then I've just got this weird fetish for trainers and scented candles. So those of you from the Welsh network will know that because I drop that in now and again when we have a few network meetings. I don't know what it is, but yeah, there you go. Okay, so why am I talking to you? Well, it's pretty simple. I'm talking to you about the amazing young people that we've got in our network who we all work with, and the fantastic events and the experiences that these young people have had from these major festivals that we ran over the last 5 years, and what we're going to do moving forward with these events, and linking it to some new ideas we've got around fundraising, but working together on how we can get these young people to these events at these iconic stadiums that probably none of them will get to in their lifetimes unless we work together to do it. So, what are we doing? Right, get your diaries out and put these in your diaries now. The dates are confirmed. So, London, Manchester and Cardiff, we are going to run the festivals on these dates. They're in. This is the bit that we're going to work towards. So there's a £90,000 fundraising target to make these things happen. And we've done that for the last few years. But we want to twist it a little bit this year. So just to break it down, £60,000 of that, StreetGames are going to work behind the scenes to find. Okay, so it's 30k per event. £10,000 per event, we want to work with the network locally to see how can we work with the local projects, engage with the local people, local businesses, your young people, your volunteers, and anyone that wants to support getting these young people to these events. Okay. Now I'm going to move into like this personal pledge, and I'm going to give you the background to how I am stood here talking about this right now. Because it didn't really, well, I'll tell you in a minute. So it's part of the StreetGames Challenge Series, which is actually, it's there, the Challenge Series is there for everyone to access. If you've got local ideas, let us know, and we'll put it under the Challenge Series. Because we want to try and see what we can do to create some fun activities, fun events that the young people and your partners and whoever else wants to get involved with. Right, Run, Robbo, Run. That's what we've come up with. All right? I'm going to just tell you about a story that we had, well, a conversation that I had. So the background is that we talked about this probably about 2-3 months ago about the new way we're going to work with the network for fundraising. I was sat having dinner with my missus and the kids, and I was just telling Claire, my missus, about, well, you know, we're working on this fundraising thing. What do you think we should do? Got any ideas? And she just said, you've got to go big. You've got to do something that's pretty big. So she just mentioned this idea, and I thought, right, okay, I'm going to get my phone. I'll email Adam. Put your hand up, Adam. And Helen, who's not here, but does the events and stuff in Wales. And this is how the conversation went. I think I've got an idea about how we can get loads of our mates together, run from the most northern project in Wales, and finish at the Principality Stadium. What do you reckon? Helen, that's a great idea. We'll call it Run, Robbo, Run. Adam, ships up. It's a great idea. Me, that's not what I said. That is not what I said. Helen, shut up, Robbo. Adam chips up. Yeah, shut up, Robbo. So, here I am. I'll just tell you a few facts. 186 miles, 6 days, and there's a 30k fundraising target, because the work that that stupid thing that I'm going to do is working towards the fundraising for the Welsh event, or Welsh festival if you want to call it. Get it out of the way first. I know you're all thinking it. Run, Forest, run, yeah, run, fat boy, run, all that sort of stuff. So have your laugh, and here we go. So I'll just give you a little snapshot of what that 6 days is going to look like. So start at the top, finish at the bottom. Probably not a curve like that. It's probably lots of curves and ups and downs, but we'll figure that out when we go along. Start in a lovely place called Colwyn Bay in North Wales, 8 o'clock in the morning on the 10th of June. Hopefully it's dry, not too hot, perfect conditions just to start walking, running towards South Wales. Not much to report from day 2 to 5. We'll see a lot of beautiful scenery and probably a lot of this. I'm not quite sure what that farmer's about to do there, but poor cow. Just on that bit there, just share a story, because that journey for us is going to be an interesting one. And it's only really hit me over the last couple of weeks. So a few weeks ago, I ran the Cardiff Half Marathon, which was 12 miles. And then I ran 10 miles a day for 4 days, and then had a break. And then I ran another 10 miles a day for 3 days, and I had to stop. And I had to stop because my body was absolutely great. I was doing recovery, I was in bath and everything. My nipples were crying blood. Towards the end, you only had to wink at them and they would start bleeding. Day 6, Principality Stadium. 12 o'clock finish, and the 12 o'clock finish was non-negotiable for me. Originally, they were saying do it from the 10th to the 17th. No chance. We're finishing at 12 because Wales are on.
Hi, it's Ellie Oldroyd here from BBC 5 Live and BBC Sport, and I am told that the mad StreetGames Wales team is running all the way from Conwy to Cardiff to raise money for Street Games. First of all, I take my hat off to you. I only ever run on the flat, and you are taking on some of the most hilly terrain in the United Kingdom. But the very best of luck to all of you, and particularly, run, Robbo, run.
So, I mean, just going into the serious bit, well, semi-serious, but the thing that struck me is when we've only really been talking about this run for about 5-6 weeks. And if you ever think of doing something under the Challenge Series, the support that's generated really quickly. People get behind good things. People are interested in good things. And to get I think that came within like a couple of days, a clip off Ellie there. But it is it's now, the bit that the team are aware of is that the Run, Robbo, Run bit, the Robbo bit in the middle is not the bit I'm comfortable with, is actually getting the network together. And there has been a togetherness, so I've stitched a few people up here, but you know, Christian Malcolm, Nathan Blake, Paula Radcliffe, some of our people went and met, and she was, you know, we had a video clip of support off her. And then a few people that have said, yeah, we'll get involved, we'll come along the way, we'll bring young people. He's not here, but I just want to point out, in the top left-hand corner, John Whedon. They're amazing. It's amazing what you find on Google, isn't it? John Whedon begged to do it. He begged and pleaded to run the whole thing with me. Weirdo. But not just individuals. There's organisations that we've been talking to that are saying, yeah, we'll get behind it. And I think that just from working together and generating this togetherness around the people we've been talking to, the network in Wales, going back to that earlier slide, is it's a 30k event, 10k of that needs to come from the network. The appetite from the network in Wales to fundraise has been great, and we're already near that pledge of £10,000. And it's pretty straightforward. I need your help for my run, bit of a selfish thing. Can you tweet, retweet, share on LinkedIn, encourage people to donate? But I also want to try and encourage you guys. So I want you to have a bit of a pledge, if you can. First and foremost, to get your young people excited about these events. Hands up if you've taken young people to those festivals before in the room. quite a few. And I'm sure you'll all agree with me that the young people just have an absolute blast. They're fizzing after those days, and they get a lot from them. Get them buzzed up about going to like venues that they'll never probably get to. Particularly, I guess, like from a Welsh perspective, a lot of young people don't get near their national stadium. They never see the national team play because the tickets are just through the roof. But to play sport on their national stadium is just another thing. I need you in my team. My run won't do it all for everyone. So we just need you guys to help and pledge and get involved so that you can get your young people involved. You can get them involved in the local fundraising. It doesn't have to be daunting. It can be quite fun. It can be rewarding in a number of different levels that you engage with them. I'm going to introduce you now to a colleague from the Welsh Network and maybe a friend, Andrew Yeahl. And he's going to talk about what Caerphilly have done over the last year in terms of developing a local fundraising plan and getting young people and partners and whatnot involved. I won't say too much. It's all yours.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, Robbo. Okay, I had two choices really from the start. So I either run with Robbo or I wrote grants out. So I decided to write some grants and get some money in and leave Robbo run on his own. It was just a little bit easier. So I worked for Communities First in Caerphilly as physical activity manager. And as you can see there from the background of what Communities First is, it quite easily fits in with Street Games and its ethos and what they're looking to do. So it was obvious from our point of view that Street Games had to work for our local authority. So at the moment, that's just the map of Caerphilly. I think John Inverdale said yesterday there's not much going on in Caerphilly, so I'll challenge him on that and hopefully we'll try and prove there is. Okay, we got 21 sites a week running and 8 Us Girls projects. That's a couple that we run as a local authority and partners with Creation. We run a number of sites as well. So 12 months ago, so people think, oh, how long did this take and whatever. 12 months ago, that's the budget I had to run with. Okay, £0 in that budget and 0 partners on board. So very much, probably a lot of projects start to say, right, you're on your own, go and make it happen. Doesn't work that way, unfortunately. I think we all know that. So where we are now, just 12 months on, number of partners involved. So community safety, just had a workshop with Kerry and Stuart, and community safety were brought up. Go Green Caerphilly, so Health Challenge Caerphilly. Our link with Santander is an interesting one. Just got given a contact name of the manager and just went and had an informal chat with him on anything. Santander, now, any fundraising that we do locally, Santander match pound for pound. They're allowed to send 2 staff members to any event that we run, and each staff member is worth £700 each. So if we raise £1,400, the 2 staff members will match that £1,400. We did a sponsored walk in partnership with Creation for our Us Girls project. We raised £500 and Santander just gave us £500, which went straight back to the project, which was fantastic. Community safety, we've had £5,300 off them, £3,500 to run our local Street Games Sensation event, and £1,800 for winter facility hire. Because we could clearly evidence to community safety in the winter when our project can't get indoors, they're causing issues, antisocial behavioural problems, which community safety wanted to stop. Nando's, everybody loves the Nando's, especially young people. So with Nando's, we again, when I met them, had a contact, which again, we were fortunate to get. When I met them, and now once a month, Nando's give a free meal to our volunteer that we choose as volunteer of the month. And we've got discount at Nando's for anyone that visits our Street Games or Us Girls sites. So again, great incentive for the young people. Caerphilly Business Forum, so that's just a group of local business people. And myself and Lauren went to that, and we ended up baking cakes. So I don't know how that ended up, but I can't boil an egg, so it wasn't really comfortable with me. But the information that they give us and the support that they now give our projects is invaluable. So they help us with CV writing. There was an accountant on board who said any of our projects can go down and just find out about accountancy. And there was a number of different links that we got from the Caerphilly Business Forum. first time this year that Communities First cluster managers have financed our Street Games programme. So we always give them massive figures, probably turning over about 300 young people a week, which goes into their data, which goes to Welsh Government, but not at any point have they ever financially contributed to our programme. This year was different. We had to ask them, because I've got a zero budget as is showed to start with, and I could clearly evidence within data and the plans how we were contributing to their projects. So we've now got money. Community Chest, very similar, I think, the community sports partnerships in England. Each of our projects now can apply for the Community Chest funded through Sport Wales for £1,500. We got 9 signed last year, which worked out about £15,000, and hopefully all our projects will sign up to Community Chest this year. Rural deprivation plan, we just put some activities on in their sites. What I just want to state about this, guys, which is probably the message, is honestly, this wasn't too hard to do. This wasn't very time consuming, and I think everybody in the room, a lot of the messages from the workshops, that we now not sports officers, we're not coaches, we're a bit of everything. And to our projects, as long as I keep doing that, our projects are successful and sustainable. So that's the key message for me, that it wasn't too difficult. If you look at that, I think that must have took you hours, it must have took you days, it must have took you weeks, and it wasn't. But more importantly, we've got successes from it, okay? And it's invaluable for our projects. So that's the sponsored walk we did in partnership with Creation with Santander. And the picture on the right-hand side is 4 local business people. So the one owns a chapel where we run out one of our Us Girls sites from, and downstairs is a hair and beauty salon where the girls from our Us Girls project can go to on a weekly basis. So we just giving them a small fund each week, and then the girls can go and have their hair and have their makeup done, things that they enjoy going to the Us Girls sites for. Santander now, on a monthly basis, run a cake sales from the shop. I don't even get involved. I don't bake the cakes, they do it all themselves. They sell them, and any money they make comes directly to our projects, and monthly. Again, from the relationships that we built, I'm not even getting my hands dirty there, and the projects are benefiting from it. And the community safety event, which I mentioned, that was in March, and we had 400 young people come to the event, which again was fantastic. So just want to encourage from everyone, just to say that wasn't difficult, that wasn't too time consuming, and anybody can do that work that I did. I'm far from a master at it. We obviously didn't win the award last night on fundraising and sustainability. I'm not bitter about that at all. So obviously there's better people out there than me at it, slightly, but I'll go again next year. But our projects are really, really gaining from it. Okay, our projects are, I think now, we don't receive any money from Street Games for frontline delivery now. So this year, Robbo hasn't given me a penny, so we'll keep working at there, okay? But I do say to him as a challenge now, I don't want any money, okay? It's a personal challenge to myself and my department that we will raise our own funds for our projects. Each of our projects now are sustainable in 2016, so as soon as my post goes, which I'm sure in time it will, with the cuts and everything that's going, then projects will still run, and then young people are still going to get fantastic experience on a weekly basis. So thanks very much.